Now, as your baby begins to crawl around, trust me on this, your child will find everything that will contribute to the boosting of his or her immunity. Babies eat everything. I have a toddler in my house, and because of that, nobody wears shoes into my home because I don't want anybody tracking in, old bubblegum, saliva, dog poop, all sorts of things that can be tracked in if you are not very careful who all is coming into your home and what they are bringing in. Hello moms and dads, and welcome back to Nurse Onyi Teaches. My name is Onyi, and in today's video I would love to have a heart-to-heart conversation with all parents who have children under the age of 3, with a focus on parents who have newborns or infants, and an infant is a child who is under 1 year old. Now, if you have access to the internet, television, even newspaper, you are aware of the fact that we have been in the middle of a pandemic for almost 2 years now. The problem with the pandemic is that it further complicates what parents need to be aware of when they are taking care of children who are relatively young. When you first give birth to your baby, even though your baby is prepared and has everything him or her will need for their immunity, their immune system is still immature, so they need to be protected. Now, I know that parents in the initial period want their children, especially in those brand new baby days, to meet with, grandparents, uncles, aunties, the neighbor who helped you while you were pregnant, all sorts of people. And this is great. It's very important for baby to meet your village early just to help them start the bonding process, be introduced to different individuals. But you need to do it very carefully. Some precautions you need to take include keeping in mind that your baby, like I said, has a very immature immune system. Your baby's skin is sensitive to touch and all sorts of things. Like I said, we are also dealing with COVID out there, and now the Delta variant, amongst other strains, is further complicating people's health. And children are suffering with the COVID Delta variant a lot faster and a lot more frequently than they did with the previous strain. So it's very important to stay aware of these things. Make sure that when you are pregnant, this goes for both mom and dad, that you take all your immunizations. Mom, as you begin to approach your due date, your doctor or your healthcare provider may suggest that you get a vaccination known as your Tdap, which is your tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. It's very important for you to follow through and take this immunization if it's made available to you. This is because pertussis causes what is known as whooping cough in babies, and you see a newborn baby, little lungs trying to learn how to breathe on the outside world, coughing so hard, it can be very disheartening. A lot of these babies end up in the emergency room because precautions to keep them from those who can expose them to these things was not properly taken. So make sure that mom, you get your Tdap shot. Your partner or dad of the baby, whoever is going to be directly involved with the child, needs to also receive the Tdap immunization just to make sure that they don't potentially expose your baby to something that's dangerous to them. Anybody who comes in contact with your baby needs to wash his or her hand. This is across the board. If it's grandma, even mom, when you get ready to take care of your baby is probably going to be more familiar with your germs, but it's just another step of precaution to help protect your child for you to just wash your hands. Make sure that anybody who is allowed to hold a baby puts a swaddling cloth between them and your baby. Remember, baby skin is very sensitive, and a lot of times people will wear like heavy colognes, lotions that are hyperallergenic. So when your baby's skin comes in contact with it, all of a sudden your baby has hives or heat rashes, and you think, oh, my baby is hot. No, it can be a contact sensitivity, and you need to make sure that you protect your baby by putting a barrier between your child, your newborn or your young child, and the person who is holding him or her. There are several things that moms and dads can do to ensure that their baby gets the best chance at being healthy. First thing is, if anybody is coming to visit your baby, make sure you clear it with the individual that he or she has no sickness symptoms, such as coughing, sneezing, congestion, anything that may expose your baby to an unfavorably high risk of becoming sick. Also, make sure you take your baby to all scheduled appointments. If your doctor has any scheduled immunizations for your baby, take your baby to go get those immunizations. A lot of the diseases that have been eradicated or brought down into well-controlled numbers is because parents and the society at large are taking the necessary steps to get the immunizations and avoid unnecessary illness in children, adults, and the elderly, any population that can be easily exposed to something that's not favorable for them. If you notice, I've posted a few videos, I think 3 or 4, on some of the signs and symptoms that parents need to be aware of so that they can immediately or quickly identify illness signs in their newborn. And that is because a lot of times children compensate for long periods before they go into what is known as full-blown manifestations of illness. If parents are aware of this illness, these little slight symptoms here and there, then you will be able to capture something and make sure you get it addressed as quickly as possible. It is very important for parents to make sure they control how much exposure their child has to a pathogen. Now, as your baby begins to crawl around, trust me on this, your child will find everything that will contribute to the boosting of his or her immunity. Babies eat everything. I have a toddler in my house, and because of that, nobody wears shoes into my home because I don't want anybody tracking in, old bubblegum, saliva, dog poop, all sorts of things that can be tracked in if you are not very careful who all is coming into your home and what they are bringing in. So make sure that you are doing your best to keep your baby safe. Make sure, mom, you are also recovering from giving birth. So be very careful who you're exposing yourself to so that you don't pick up on things that can, immediately play into the health of your child. Dad too, whoever is siblings in direct contact with this baby, you want to make sure that you limit any chance that your baby can become ill. And hopefully we all can survive this pandemic together. I am praying for everybody. I don't just believe that we're going to go through this if we don't do certain things. It would really help if we start to take the precautions that are put out there by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that we begin to listen to pediatricians, to doctors who are well versed and educated on the steps and the measures that will help to reel this COVID in. Let's survive this together. Let's keep the babies healthy. I wish you all excellent parenting. I wish your babies great health. And before I close out this video, I want to know what you all feel about these videos. I'm approaching 50 videos here. It would really help if I get some feedback in the comment section so that I know what you all find appealing, what more you would love to learn about, how the information applies to you or does not apply to you. So, engage with me in the comment section, and I look forward to hearing from you all. Like I said, I wish you the best. Stay strong. We will get through this COVID scare together, and it will be a thing of the past or be well controlled if we do the right things. Until the next time, be blessed.